A very good afternoon, students. So last time we started reading Act 4 Scene 1 of the Tempest, and there we read up to line 38. So here Prospero is expressing his gratitude, congratulating Ferdinand for coming up with flying colors in his test. The test in the form of menial tasks which were conferred to Ferdinand, and Ferdinand had been forced to go through all those tests, and he performed every single instructions of Prospero thoroughly. He performed all those tasks which were inferior to him, keeping in mind his royal lineage, but still he made it possible because for Ferdinand the sole beacon of his life was Miranda, and to marry Miranda. So, in order to win Prospero's heart, in order to have Miranda with the consent of her father, Ferdinand had gone through rigorous works, physical labor, and right now Prospero is there to congratulate him that you, Ferdinand, the way you performed all those tasks, the way you carried out my orders, my instructions, my injunctions which had been showed to you, the way you carried it out, I am elated. And here is your prize, that is Miranda. You take her, she is yours. So now, just before their ceremonial marriage, Prospero, being a father to Miranda and being the duke, once a duke of a dukedom, he cannot forget his duty. That being a father, it is my duty to present a fascinating mask on the day of my daughter's marriage. Now there is no such scope, there is no such arena, royal arena, but still in that barren land, far away from the usual course of human being, of human business, human civilization, that uninhabited island, there Prospero also arranged a mask with the help of Ariel and his corollary, his subordinate spirits, over whom Prospero gave Ariel mastery. Those spirits, being led by Ariel, they presented a mask, a fascinating mask, before the couple who are about to be married. So now, in the mask, there are some mythological characters who are appearing there. At first, the person and the character that appears, it is Iris. Iris is the servant of Juno, and Mercury is the servant of Jupiter. So Iris, the goddess Juno's servant, he is also called the rainbow, the watery droplets. This is rainbow that bridges earth and heaven. Means this is the rainbow whose job is to pass messages from and to both earth and both heaven and earth. That is the very purpose of Iris, to pass the message. Here Iris is there to pass the message that these couple, they are about to be married. Let's bless them with all the fortune, all kinds of fortune for their future life. That's the message Iris is bringing, and he is also welcoming and inviting another goddess, which we will come to know by and by. Ceres, the most bounteous lady, Ceres is the goddess of earth, crops, and fertility. Because of her, earth is fertile. Crops are growing, fruits are, trees are bearing fruits, and all these things. And because these crops are growing in the field, we have our source of livelihood and food, and the whole world is happy because there is source of food for everyone. So without Ceres, the world will be a chaos. That Ceres who brings uh, happiness, and at the same time, which I was forgetting to say, that it is Ceres who is bringing the sense of satisfaction in the stomach of every single person present on earth. That is why she is being called bounteous. She is blessed with abundance in terms of food and resource. That Ceres is being held by Iris. The rich lees of wheat, rye, barley, vetches, oats and peas, the turfy mountains, covered with grass, the mountainous rocks, they are covered with grass, and that is why it is called turfy mountain. It's a kind of metaphor. Where live nimbling sheep and flat meads thatched with stover them to keep. So there are meadows full of bushes that will serve the source of food for the sheep, and those sheep which are grazing on the mountainside, and that mountainside is covered with grass. So there is plenty of source for all the leaves, all the lambs. And it is you, Ceres, because of you those lambs are kept safe. Those lambs are having access to food. Not by lamb, actually they are trying to mean the whole fauna, the flora and fauna, the whole gamut of creatures on earth. They are being fed because of Ceres. So they are thanking Ceres. Oh Ceres, you have brought all those things. Because of you, these sheep are alive, we are alive. That is why you are bounteous. I am hailing you, Ceres. You come here and you bless this about to be married couple. Thy banks with peonied and twilled breams, with spongy April at thy hest means at thy instruction, betreams to make cold neem's chest crowns and thy broom grooves. Broom grooves I am coming to it. Old neem's chest crowns, chest means pure, and crowns, you know that. Now here, that is the most debated extended metaphor here. Peonied, whose banks peonied and twilled breams. Means suppose there is a brook, and along the side of the brook there is peonies, means lilied, means lily flowers are blooming there, and they are so close to each other, it seems as if they are forming a garland. And all over the bank, these lily flowers are forming a garland kind of shape. And the whole thing that seen, in between there is river, and both the sides of the river, both the banks of the river are fenced with lily flowers. The whole thing is compared to a crown which will be worn by a nymph. Nymphs are also associated with their virginity, their chastity, their being pure at heart. That's the thing the nymphs are associated with. And that is why, in order to show the purity of the relation in between Ferdinand and Miranda, they are bringing these allusions of nymphs, these chest crowns and all these things, in order to show their chastity, their purity of relation. So it is because of you, Ceres, that all these things are happening, and we are hailing you, we are welcoming you here to bestow your love, your blessings upon this about to be married couple. And thy bloom grows, whose shadow the dismissed bachelor loves, being less long. That was the condition of Ferdinand in the beginning. He was sitting under the shadow of the bushes. He was lamenting the loss of his father and every single person. So just like a boy broods over the loss of his beloved under the shadow of those bushes. And it is you, Ceres, who made those bushes for those bachelors who were last lorn, means who were eager to be engaged with a girl, last lorn. They are brooding over and they are thinking over, pondering over some loss which they had faced, and probably that is a breakup in relation. So being what should I say? Yes, being disappointed with their futile attempt of love, they sits there under the bushes and they lament. And you, Ceres, you made those bushes. You come. The pole-clipped vineyard. Yes, vine. The stems of vine, they grow by coiling over some pole or stake. So those vines that are growing with the help of another stem, those vineyards, and thy sea marge, sterile and rocky land. Sea marge because it was shore. So in the bank of the sea you can find there rocky. This is not sandy. So there, it is there where you breathe. See? Where thou thyself dost air means dust, you do breathe. And queen of the sky, yes, whose watery ark and messenger am I. I am his messenger, I am the watery ark, I am the rainbow, which is formed by the droplets of water. And when the droplets reflects the sunlight, it actually refraction there is, because of which we can see the different colors of sun rays, which is splitted there while they are passing through those droplets. I am Iris, I am the rainbow, I am the messenger of Juno, who is the queen of the gods. Bids thee leave these, and with her sovereign grace, here on this grass plot, this grassy area where we are standing here, you leave your place where you are living, where you have been living, where you have been airing yourself, you have been breathing there, in such area. You leave your place and you come and please visit here. In this very place to come and sport. Her peacocks fly amain, approach reach Ceres, hot to entertain. So already Ceres's chariot is drawn by peacocks to come and sport, making love, helping these people having love with each other. So love, relationship, these are the things which is mentioned here by sport. Come. Here you come and sport. And her peacocks fly amain, approach, reach Ceres, hard to entertain. Now Ceres is coming in her chariot, drawn by peacocks, so fast, so swift chariot. Already she has reached. And why? Why she has left her own place and visiting that grassy plot? Because there is a marriage is about to begin, and she is there to bless the newly married couple. Now Ceres has come and she is telling, hail many-colored messenger. Rainbow, you know, consisting of 7 colors of sun rays. That's why she is called a many-colored messenger. That never dost disobey the wife of Jupiter. I am the wife of Jupiter. Jupiter is the king of the gods and I am the queen of the gods. You never disobey me, Iris. And if you are calling me, how am I supposed to stay there? such an obedient sovereignty were to me, who with thy saffron wings upon my flowers diffused honey drops. Those dewdrops are called here honey drops. Because of you, refreshing showers. That is why spongy April it was said, spongy April, because that is the time when this is the summer season in England and they receive rain during that time. That is why it is called spongy, wet, because this is the time when you can witness drizzling. And those drizzles, those dewdrops, they are like honey to those flowers on the petals of which they stands. So you refreshing showers, and with each of thy blue bow dost crown my bosky acres, and my unsharped down reach scarf to my poor proud earth. Why hath thy queen summoned me hither to this short grassed green? So you are the reach scarf of my proud earth. Means you are like the scarf, multicolored scarf, wrapping over my earth, giving it a more prominent look, more beautiful look. You are decorating my earth, which I love most, which I make fertile. I have made it fertile, and you are the scarf over the earth's face. Such a beautiful thing, rainbow, iris. Why have you brought me here? What is the reason behind it? Iris is replying that a contract of true love to celebrate. Yes, that's the reason I am here. A contract of true love to celebrate. So marriage is here presented to be a social contract where both the parties will be benefited. Here, Prospero is allowing Ferdinand and Miranda get engaged to each other. What is the reason behind it? That Prospero, this will help Prospero to have his political ambition fulfilled. That is why this is a contract. The contract which is about to be signed in between Alonso and Ferdinand, that none of us will attack each other because our next generations, our sons and daughters, they have loved each other. They want to get married to each other, and they have already married. So for the sake of their future, let us keep our enmity away from this couple. That is why it is called a contract, a social contract signed by the two parties, and both the parties finds it profitable for them. That is the reason. And some donations freely to estate on the blessed lovers, donations in the form of blessings. Ceres, tell me, heavenly bow, if Venus or her son, as thou dost know, do now attend the queen, since they did plot the means that dusky Dis, my daughter, dusky Dis refers to Pluto, my daughter got, her and her blind boy's scandal company I have foreseen. So, you, Iris, you tell me that the news, whether the news has already reached to Juno. Who is Juno? Iris's mistress, queen of the gods. So does Venus, goddess of love, and her son Cupid is also associated with love and marriage, god of marriage. Have they already visited Juno, asking permission to ooze the sense of love in the hearts of these couple who are about to be married? Where from does this reference come? You tell me. See, there is a mythology associated with Ceres and dusky Dis, which is Pluto. Ceres had a beautiful daughter named Proserpine, and Pluto was the god of the land of the dead. No goddess or princess, whoever she is, they were not ready to live with Pluto in the kingdom of the dead. So one day when Pluto when Pluto was running his swift chariot over earth, he saw Proserpine playing with her mates. And there he was fascinated and charmed by the beauty of the Proserpine. And he thought that if I take Proserpine to my land, the land of the dead, which is dark, it will become brighter with the presence of Proserpine. So he kidnapped Proserpine. His mother Ceres begged before Zeus and asked him that you please tell Pluto to return my daughter. The condition that was given, that if Proserpine did not eat a single seed of fruit in the kingdom of Pluto, then she will be allowed to come back to earth. But on the day Ceres reached there, Proserpine had already eaten 6 pomegranate seeds, which made her to stay in the land of the dead for 6 months, and other 6 months she used to come to earth. And once she stepped on the earth, the whole earth welcomed her with all kinds of flowers, fruits and all things. That is the season of spring. So this mythology is associated with the cycle of seasons. Whereas Ceres, she represents fertility. Her daughter Proserpine represents the cycle of season. So because Venus and his son Cupid, they implanted the seed of love in the heart of Pluto, and that love sprouted when Pluto saw Proserpine and he kidnapped her. So that is why Ceres is too much anxious whether Venus and his son Cupid, they have already asked permission from Juno to pollute the innocent relation, the pure relation in between Ferdinand and Miranda. Because it was told by Prospero, he forbade them that you cannot indulge in physical relations unless your marriage is sanctified with all sorts of ceremony. So now, in order to make the marriage null and void, that Venus might have already talked with Juno, got the permission to pollute their mind, just the way he polluted Daskydes, that is Pluto. That is why Ceres is too much anxious, and she is asking, you tell me first whether Venus had already taken permission from your mistress to pollute the mind of these newly married, about to be married couple. Only then I will bestow my blessings. Otherwise my blessings will have no meaning if they cannot keep their vow. What was the vow? Not to get engaged physically before their ceremonial marriage, because marriage is a social contract. Socially, these people are given permission to live together. Before that, no such thing will happen. That is why Ceres is anxious whether the way they polluted the heart of Pluto, and by doing so the life of my daughter was also got polluted. Have they already taken permission from Juno to pollute the hearts of these young people, the young couple? You first tell me. Then Iris is telling that no, of her society be not afraid. Don't be afraid of her. I met her deity cutting the clouds towards Paphos. This is the name of the place where Juno lives. There I reached, and I have already talked with her. And her son dropped drawn with her. Here thought they to have done some wanton charm upon this man and maid, whose vows are that no bedright shall be paid, ere Hymen's torch be lighted. Hymen is the goddess of marriage. torch, the ceremonial marriage is done to light the torch of marriage, to light the auspicious torch of marriage. But this is the sacrificial fire which is lit in order to sanctify the union between a man and a woman. That torch is lit. Means ceremonially the marriage is done. Before that, it is vowed. They have vowed that before the ceremonial marriage they won't get physically engaged with each other. That is why it is written, no bed right shall be paid. Ferdinand will not have the right to get engaged physically with Miranda unless ceremonially the marriage is done. But when Mars' hot minion is returned again, so when they have looked at Ferdinand and Miranda, they were affectionately embracing themselves. And right then, Iris is telling, my God, already Mars has heat, means the passion of love. Mars was the god of war. And Venus had an extramarital affair with Mars. So that kind of illicit relation that kindles unrestrained passion in the heart of a man, that passion I can see growing in the heart of this couple. And soon they might dismiss their vow, they might break their vow. So before they break their vows, let me bless them and let the whole ceremonial marriage complete. Otherwise, we cannot bless this couple. And without our blessings, their marriage will not have any fruit, will not last long. All Prospero's plan will be watered. That is why they are telling that Mars's hot minion is returned again. Her wasp-headed son, Cupid, is associated with a bow and arrow. And the tip of the bow is moistened with the venom of love. Whoever it hits, there in the heart of that person, love oozes out. That is why Cupid is compared with a wasp, bolta. And it is the sting of love that he is inflicting upon the heart of the victim. That is why he is called wasp. Swears he will not shoot no more but play with sparrows and be boy right now. Now he has sworn that unless the ceremonial marriage is done for Ferdinand and Miranda, I am not here to inflict and inject the passion of love in the veins of this couple. I will play with only sparrows. Means Iris is ensuring Ceres that you, bounteous Ceres, you come and you bless. Don't be afraid of Venus and Cupid, because they will stick to their vows until the ceremonial marriage is completed. That's what Iris is telling. Fascinating stage directions are there to hold this particular scene. Masks is going on, people are coming with typical attire, with typical garments representing the divine quality of these characters. This is a fascinating scene. Along masks, all kinds of masks have been fascinating, have been attractive to look at. And that was the common thing which took place in the court of the kings and queens, and in the domestic affairs of some noble lords. Later it reached the public also, it was also played in the theatres. But this kind of mythological characters who are appearing in the masque, they have some symbolical meaning. Their presence is symbolical. Ceres is telling that I don't want the same fate of my own daughter to Miranda. So there is a mythological reference. What happened with her daughter? And what's the thing that is going on in between this about to be married couple? They are getting obsessed with each other by and by, feeling attracted towards each other, but they have to restrain their attraction. They are eager to surrender to each other, surrender their self to each other. Only then they will find their meaning. Only then they will find meaning in staying alive. But still there are certain things which we need to follow, which Prospero needs to follow. Because unless their marriage is sanctified, is done following all the customs, Alonso will not give his consent over the marriage. No, he will not. And if that fails, then all the plots of Prospero will be watered. That is why Prospero and all these people, these mythological characters, they are also concerned whether Prospero gets back his kingdom, and by means of marrying his own daughter to Ferdinand. That's what is happening there. All these spectacular presents are made in order to create entertainment in the hearts of this about to be married couple. That's how the thing is going on. So later we will read the rest of the story, the rest of the drama, what happens there, how Prospero gets back everything he lost without shedding a single drop of blood. Bloodless revolution, Prospero done it. He formed it and he created it. He took revenge without shedding a single drop of blood from his enemies. So it was his magic, his mastery, that helped him to regain everything without shedding a single drop of blood. So that's all for today, students. We will meet again. Till then, you revise the whole thing, and the moment you find any kind of trouble, do give me a call. That's all for today. Tata. Good day.